For the past 2,500 years, philosophers, mystics, astronomers, and physicists have attempted to understand the movements of the celestial bodies and the origins of the universe. Myths and stories about the birth of our cosmos serve as models for the creation of the gods, the earth, man, animals, all that we can see and know. Man has always pondered on the eternal cosmological question: who created the earth and the stars, and how did it occur? Until the 17th century, Christianity's story of the creation was the primary authority on the birth of the cosmos. But ancient civilizations had already described a mysterious creative force which gave birth to the universe. They called it desire, or the tree of the universe, the egg, primordial chaos, water, or even the void. Empty of name and form, qualities and attributes, and quintessentially tranquil and still, the ancients attempted to describe the inconceivable as waves which create forms from an ocean of nothingness. For life to become manifest, a seismic contraction of the void itself had to occur. A first cosmic act was the emission of a giant breath exhaled through the void, which expanded in all directions. Today, scientists call it the Big Bang. The ancient Greeks were the first to apply systematic scientific study to the cosmos. They wondered, what came first, the gods, the stars, or the elements? They attempted to reconcile their metaphysical, religious, ascetic, and mystical understanding with what they could prove scientifically. Hesiod was the first Greek to put forth the idea of a universe arising from primordial chaos. They sought to understand not only how it was formed, but why. What were the fundamental laws which governed us? The language the ancient Greeks discovered was mathematics. From the 6th century BC onwards, increasingly rational ideologies based on the laws of physics began to compete with the traditional belief that the world was controlled by gods with supernatural powers. Before Socrates, philosophers defined the structure of the world as a set of mechanical rules and natural principles which could be studied, understood, and predicted. They incorporated and developed these new ideas of the gods, astronomy, mathematics, and the most mysterious of all, universal harmony. The cosmos was the primary subject of poetry, and poetry reflected a vast and majestic universe, governed by the principles of aesthetics, order, and harmony. Fifth century BC philosopher Empedocles proposed that primordial matter was composed of the 4 incorruptible elements: earth, water, air, and fire. And Pythagoras developed a cosmic theory based on numbers and harmony, a system in which the earth, the planets, and the sun orbited the center of the universe, which he called the throne of Zeus. He believed that the orbits of the planets and stars created resonances with each other, like notes on a musical scale. but Plato was the first to construct a series of geometric models to explain the fabric of the universe. Ancient astronomers believed that circles and spheres were the only shapes faultless enough to represent divine perfection. So Plato used less harmonious, more irregular shapes to represent the four elements of the manifested world. He chose a magical symbol, the three-dimensional pentagon, the dodecahedron, to represent primordial chaos, from which he believed that God created the elements using numeric and geometric patterns. The sky, consisting of concentric layers with the earth at its centre, was finite, unique, and eternal. He'd constructed a geocentric model in which the world became the centre of our universe. He knew the movements of the stars was not random, but obeyed certain predictable laws. Life was divided into two groups: sublunary, meaning subject to birth, corruption, and death, and comprised of four elements, and a superlunary world which was perfect and immortal. This was called Plato's fifth element and underpinned his geometric model of the universe. In the Renaissance period, this element was to become known as quintessence. His pupil Aristotle also supported a geocentric universe, but one which conformed to a hierarchic order. He believed the spheres between the Earth and the other planets related to the five senses. He introduced a fundamental distinction between Plato's sublunary and superlunary worlds. Aristotle believed that the celestial spheres were not geometric shapes, but comprised of a transparent crystalline substance, ether. Although the ancient Greeks had speculated on a heliocentric universe, where the Earth revolved around the Sun, it was never accepted. Despite their ingenuity, their circular systems did not accurately describe the complex movements they had physically observed. The planets changed speed, and even occasionally went backwards. And it didn't solve the mystery of why the planets changed luminosity as they moved across the night sky. In the 2nd century AD, Ptolemy used mathematics to understand these anomalies. He'd adopted Plato's concept of a stationary, geocentric Earth, and celestial bodies which moved in circles, but he multiplied the number of circles and offset them one against the other, proposing complex and ingenious interactions. Crucially, he found that it was not mathematically viable to place the Earth as the focus for all of the planets. Breaking Aristotle's rule, he offset it. His theory survived for the next 1500 years. Ptolemy's system of epicycles and eccentric circles changed man's relationship with the stars and the planets. We were no longer the center of the universe.